Love, light, and blessings. This is Shamanic Awak Priestess here, and I'm not gonna lie, I just finished making one of my most controversial videos to date. It's available on the memberships there, and as I'm recording this video, it's literally uploading. So that video, I know I definitely cannot make it public. So if you want those types of videos, which I do make on my membership, also behind the scenes stuff and other series and stuff that I have going on there, that I teach you guys stuff, feel free to join members at the second tier, the intermediate level, okay? You will have access to those types of videos. Yeah, because there's just certain things I cannot talk about here on a public forum, okay? Yeah. So, but I have this other video that I wanted to make for my subscribers. It's also controversial, okay? I don't feel it should be, but it is. Thank you so much for my last video. Like, it did so well. Like, I'm so excited. All the feedbacks, comments, all the things. When I made the video about the truth about, being a reader that nobody tells you about, okay? This is kind of along those lines to that. And this video, I wanted to focus on something that I've talked about on different occasions, but I'm still so passionate about. And that is fortune telling. As you see in the background, fortune teller, okay? I am a fortune teller. I am proud of that, okay? I use tarot, oracle cards, all the things as a divination tool, okay, to tell the future. Yes, I use it to spiritually counsel. I use it to channel messages. I use all the things, okay? But yes, this is one of the tools that I use to do what it was made to do, okay? Because the original history of this is to tell your future, okay? So let's talk about it, okay? What is the history of fortune telling, okay? The earliest evidence indicates that fortune telling was practiced in many ancient cultures. China, okay? China has a very vast and rich history, okay? Fortune telling, the earliest records were in China, okay? Egypt. There's brown and black people in Egypt, okay? When they say we came from kings and queens, that is true. There were black people in Egypt as well, okay? So it also dates back to Egypt. Fortune telling also dates back to Africa, okay? When people were reading the Delagum and all these things, right? When they were reading Ifa. In Ifa, they practiced their own form of divination that predates, is part of a very ancient, okay, very ancient culture. Again, our history predates slavery, okay? We come from kings and queens as well. We have our own lineages, just like English people have their own origins, the kingdoms, and in China, they had the dynasties and things like that. Africa also had that as well. It also dates back to Babylonia as early as 1400 BCE, okay? And divination, fortune telling, was based on prophetic dreams, okay? People dreaming things and they would happen. That's what it was, okay? Ocular occurrences, so people seeing things, okay? Fortune tellers were used when people will fight wars, okay? There are records of these things. There are records of people that, even for royalty, in Egyptian culture, in European culture, they would interpret dreams of the king or the queen. They would help people to counsel them when they were having wars with other kingdoms and other people. They would use divination when tribes were fighting against other tribes, okay? They also use divination as a spiritual medicine, okay? So that's what it was. If it wasn't tarot cards, even before tarot cards, even before Lenormand, even before playing cards, that dates back all the way to the 1370s when people started using those for divination. Even before those times, people have always used different forms of divination. Bone casting, charm casting, dreams, okay, channeling, all right, reading smoke, okay. In Egypt, it was reading water, something that I was taught to do early on in my practices. So you don't have to use tarot or any of these things for fortune telling, but you cannot tell people those things are wrong when this has a historical history. It's just very interesting to me that modern practitioners, not all, want to make rules on something that never originally had rules, okay? You can't really say, oh, I'm a tarot reader if you're going to ignore the history and the origins of tarot. Tarot was used for divination, okay? It was used for divination. It was the Pamela Coleman Smith and the Arthur Waite collaboration that made tarot more mainstream in modern history, but there were even decks predating that, okay? You have the Marseille deck and other decks in France, okay? You have playing cards, you have practitioners, you could even La Madama is a protector of readers because she used to cast bones. She used to read playing cards, okay? Our brown folks used to do that. Or they used to read the cowrie shells. Like, there was always divination. Divination, fortune telling has been part of history. There is nothing wrong with it. Yes, are there people that are evil and use it to hurt people? Yes. But that's not everybody. There is a place for those that call themselves spiritual advisors. There is a place for those that spiritually counsel people with tarot. There is a place where people use it to read themselves and heal each other or study it just for historical purpose. But there's also a place for the origin of what it was created for, which is fortune telling. Okay? Fortune telling. Fortune telling is a gift. Fortune telling is a practice. Fortune telling is part of ancient traditions. It is such an important part of Ifa. Okay, Ifa, a lot of it is divining. It's believed that you communicate through creator, through divination, that your ancestors guide you in life, okay, through divination, okay. It does not take one's power away, because people that are misinformed, they would try to tell you like, oh, the spirits are telling you this because it's inevitable, when we always have the power to change things. If you don't like the way something looks in a reading, you can always change it. When the spirits warn us about something, it's because they're trying to let us know this is how you can change it. If you don't like the outcome of something because it's kind of basing it on the past and current energy, then you have the power to change it in the future. We have the power to create our own future, okay? There are some things that are destined that there's nothing we can really do, but those are rare. Most things in a reading that the spirits are showing you is because they're telling you if you don't like the outcome, you can change it. You can change things by your free will and your everyday actions. That is what fortune telling is to forewarn people, is to show the possible outcomes of things, and is to empower the client so they can make the necessary changes so they can have more power over their future. It is a guide. It is a roadmap. Okay, it can help you. Fortune telling has helped me, and it has helped countless people within my client base, okay, to have more control, to have more power in their future. It is not okay to take a ancient practice and then water it down and then say that what people traditionally used it for is evil. This is why I have issues when people do that, when people literally try to ignore history. The same thing with witchcraft, which I made a more elaborate video on, when they try to make rules on witchcraft that were never originally there by more new age practitioners. They try to use terms that are racist. They try to inhibit people's power, inhibit the things that people can practice, okay? That is not okay. That is not okay. It's not okay when tarot readers are already marginalized in the mainstream culture and demonized in the mainstream culture, that the tarot community fights within itself. That you have people that want to be the gatekeepers and tell other people what they can and can't do in tarot. Tarot doesn't have rules. Everybody has their own code of ethics. Can somebody use fortune telling in a bad way to take away somebody's powers? Yes. But in that same token, somebody can use spiritual counseling in a bad way as well. They can give someone bad advice because they don't have the qualifications to counsel people, right? Because you might not have a degree in therapy, right? So why are you giving therapy? So you know what I'm saying? So that is a double-edged sword. Like, okay, telling someone that it's not okay to read third parties is not true. There is nothing wrong with it. That is your personal beliefs, but people have been channeling other people's thoughts since the beginning of history. People have been hexing people since the beginning of history. So telling people that you can't hex people, you can't do this and you can't do that, if you personally don't want to do it, that's fine. I can respect that. That's valid. But don't say that in traditional witchcraft, people weren't hexing people. That's not true. Archaeologists have actually unburied, okay, and discovered ancient puppets that people used even even in Europe. Okay, it's not just something we do in Africa. As far as Europe and Egypt and other parts of the world, okay, that use dolls for baneful things, healing, but also baneful things. Okay. So this stuff has been done throughout history. Okay, even in Christianity, they don't call it psychic abilities, they call it the gift of prophecy. Even in Bible, like even in Christianity, they have people called prophets who were able to have a connection with God and foretell the future. Divination is a big part of hoodoo. It's a big part of a lot of things. Like a lot of these religious or spiritual practices has like somebody who gives you insight, somebody who gives you spiritual guidance, if you will. You know what I mean? Because that's also what divination is used for, spiritual guidance, helping guide people on their path. So I love fortune telling. It's a big part of what I do. It's what I use divination tools for. You know what I mean? I also use it to let you know who was in your spirit court. I also use it to help people manifest things. I also use it as a healing tool. I also use it as a form to communicate with those who have passed on. I use it for many things, but the majority of what I use it for is to see into the future. That's how, when I book a reading with somebody, that's what I want. I don't want to change my questions for you. I want to ask about third parties. I want to know what other people's doing, because third party readings have saved people's life. When I'm like, hey, this person has malice intentions towards you, and that confirms that, and then that person can make that choice, like maybe I need to get out of this toxic relationship because this person doesn't have good intentions with me. How can helping somebody be unethical? Everything is not black and white, guys. So I'm just saying, I'm a traditionalist. I use divination tools for what they were traditionally made for, and that's to fortune tell. Okay, and I'm gonna keep talking about this topic. It goes because that's what it is. Okay, most books teach you a 3-card spread: past, present, and future. So if you're pulling out a future card, then in hindsight, you are fortune telling. Okay, let's destigmatize the term fortune teller. Let's stop demonizing pick a card readers. Let's stop demonizing people who get paid to tell the future. Let's stop demonizing that. If that's something that doesn't resonate with you, that is fine. But don't demonize other people. Don't give that misinformation that it takes people's power away. There are a few like bad apples in the bunch, yes, but the majority of people who do this, they're actually trying to do it to help people. So if you've ever wanted to become a tarot reader and you're like, I don't know, I kind of am drawn to fortune telling, but I don't know, do it, because it's a gift, and it's not a gift everybody can do. So with that being said, thank you so much for watching this video. If you want to work with me on a one-on-one basis, shamanic@wagpriestess.com, shamanic@wagpriestess.com, and you can book your private one-on-one reading with me. And also, if you want to become a member, please join at, there's 3 different tiers, and with every tier, so the higher tier you have, the more benefits you get. And you can become a channel member. Also, I'm able to have super thanks, which basically is buy me a coffee. If you want to donate anything to me, you can through YouTube now. It's in the description box where the join button is as well. And there you'll be able to click on the super thanks and give me a monetary gift if that's something that you feel called to do. And that does help me to keep this channel going, and I put a lot of work into this channel. So thank you so much, guys, for watching this video, and until the next video, guys, much love, much light, much blessings. Thank you. Bye. And let's make this video number 1 again too. Bye bye.